Yeah. Walked in with the pressure already sitting on my shoulders, and somehow it still wasn't heavy enough to slow the pace. Every second felt borrowed, so I spent it instead of saving it. Every sentence locked into the next one, like another gear finding its place. No hesitation hiding between the bars, no empty movement, waiting to be covered by volume, just clean execution. Pushing harder every measure until the rhythm carry more weight than the words themselves. I learned early that noise attracts attention, but precision keeps it. So I stopped chasing quick reactions and started sharpening every decision until the smallest adjustment made the biggest difference. Because people always notice the finish while forgetting the thousand corrections that happened before anyone was looking. And that's where the real advantage grows. Inside the hours nobody counts, and the effort nobody celebrates. Every setback arrived wearing a different face, but carried the same lesson underneath. Keep moving before doubt gets comfortable. Keep building before excuses learn your name. Keep refining into instinct reacts faster than fear, because pressure never disappears. It only changes size once you stop treating it like an enemy and start using it as another reason to stay locked in. The cadence keeps folding over itself without breaking stride. Every internal rhyme catching another one before it lands. Every phrase stretching into the next without wasting space. Every impact earned instead of forced. No recycled patterns, no borrowed confidence. Just another layer locking into place while the tempo keeps climbing and the focus refuses to blink. People spend too much energy protecting an image that disappears the moment conditions change. I'd rather build something that survives bad timing, closed doors, missed chances, and unexpected turns. Because the strongest plans are the ones that avoid disruption. They're the ones that keep functioning after disruption arrives and tries to rewrite everything. Every wrong call became another reference. Every delay taught another shortcut that couldn't be found on a map. Every difficult season stripped away another unnecessary habit until only the useful parts remain. And somewhere along the way discipline stopped feeling like effort, because repetition turned it into instinct. The same way your blade stops resisting the stone after enough passes. The pace never drops because momentum hates hesitation. One decision pulls another behind it. One correction creates another improvement. One step clears enough ground to the next, and before long the distance starts speaking louder than any promise ever could. Because results don't need introductions, they only need consistency. I don't waste time competing with distractions, because distractions expire on their own. I compete with unfinished potential, with the version that still exists somewhere ahead, waiting to be caught. And every day becomes another chance to close that distance a little more, without announcing it, without decorating it, without pretending progress needs permission from anybody outside the work itself. The rhythm grows tighter, the pressure grows heavier, the standard grows higher, but none of it changes the direction, because direction was decided long before the first obstacle appeared. And that's the difference between reacting and committing. One depends on circumstance while the other survives it. When the last echo fades, there's nothing left to explain, because everything important was already built inside the movement, inside the repetition, inside the decisions that looked ordinary while they were happening, but quietly stacked into something impossible to ignore. And that's why I keep moving through the next page exactly the same way I started the first. With clear intent, steady focus, and no interest in slowing down for anything that isn't pulling me forward. First step hit the pavement, and the pace never slipped, because I stopped waiting for the world to make room years ago. Every move carried its own reason. Every sentence leaned into the next one without leaving space for hesitation. I don't waste momentum explaining the blueprint while it's being built, because the strongest foundations always grow beneath the surface, long before anybody notices the skyline changing. People get distracted by whatever flashes brightest for a minute, but I've seen enough seasons to know temporary noise fades faster than unfinished work. So I keep the focus narrow and the standards high, stacking clean decisions one after another, until the distance between intention and execution disappears completely, and instinct starts moving before doubt even finishes introducing itself. Every obstacle tried to slow the rhythm, but accidentally sharpened it instead. Every wrong prediction forced another adjustment. Every unexpected turn widened the perspective, and after enough miles the difference became obvious, because frustration kept wasting energy arguing with reality, while I kept borrowing lessons from it and carrying them forward without looking back. The cadence keeps rolling without repeating itself. Every internal rhyme sliding underneath another phrase. Every landing point opening a fresh direction instead of circling old ground. Nothing borrowed from yesterday, nothing leaning on recycled formulas. Every section built to keep the pressure climbing instead of pausing for comfort, because comfort usually arrives carrying invisible chains disguised as rewards. I don't measure progress by reactions, because reactions change with the weather. I measure it by whether today's version can outperform yesterday without asking for permission. Whether the discipline still shows up after excitement leaves. Whether the process stays solid when nobody's watching, because that's where real separation begins, and that's where shortcuts quietly disappear. Every difficult stretch removed another unnecessary habit, until the only things left were useful instincts and cleaner judgment. Every delay became another chance to tighten the time, and every setback uncovered another weakness before it had time to become permanent. And eventually the pressure stopped feeling like resistance, because repetition had already transformed it into familiar ground. The rhythm keeps accelerating, every phrase feeding the next one, every transition carrying enough weight to avoid breaking the momentum. Every breath invested instead of wasted, no empty decoration, no artificial pauses, just constant forward movement driven by precision instead of impulse, because speed without control only creates another problem waiting further ahead. People love certainty until certainty disappears, then they start searching for direction. But direction has never lived inside perfect conditions, it lives inside the willingness to keep adapting without abandoning the objective. And that's why I never panic when the map changes, because the destination was never tied to a single road in the first place. Nothing here depends on applause, approval, or temporary attention, because all of those things leave as quickly as they arrive. But disciplined work keeps collecting value long after the conversation changes, quietly turning ordinary hours into undeniable results, while louder voices keep chasing another distraction. When everything settles and the noise finally burns itself out, the only thing still standing is the chain that never broke. One decision connected to another one, improving, replacing the last one, relentless step refusing to become the final one. Because the strongest momentum isn't created by one explosive moment, it's created by refusing to let the rhythm lose its grip, even once, from the first breath to the last. From the first breath I refused to move like the rest, because following footprints never built another road. Every decision landed before hesitation could even find a voice. Every sentence leaned into the next, until the rhythm stopped sounding like separate thoughts and became one long surge that never looked back. I don't borrow momentum, I manufacture it, turning every delay into another adjustment, every adjustment into another advantage, every advantage into another reason to keep the pressure climbing. People keep chasing moments because moments look expensive, but moments disappear the second the spotlight changes direction. So I invested some required to where discipline compounds instead of fading, where repetition sharpens instead of dulls, where patience quietly outworks panic without asking anybody to notice. That's where the gap starts opening, not through one spectacular leap, but through 1,000 precise steps that never lose the line. The cadence keeps twisting before predictability catches it, internal rhymes locking together underneath the surface, every phrase carrying another hidden pattern, every landing point pushing forward instead of stopping to admire itself. Because the second momentum starts celebrating, momentum starts slowing, I don't leave room for that. Every breath carries another layer, every layer carries another purpose, every purpose points the same direction without needing another speech to explain it. Pressure stopped feeling heavy the day I realized it weighs exactly the same whether you complain or not. So I quit negotiating with circumstances and started negotiating with my own standards instead. Raise up level, tighten the time and remove the waste of motion, repeat the process. Small improvements never look impressive in isolation, but stack enough of them together and suddenly the distance becomes impossible to ignore. Every obstacle arrive wearing a different disguise, sometimes impatience, sometimes distraction, sometimes comfort pretending to be success. But every single one wanted the same thing, to interrupt the rhythm before it became permanent. I answered all of them exactly the same way, by refusing to break stride, because consistency frustrates resistance more than emotion ever will. The movement keeps flowing without empty space, one eye defeating another before the last syllable fades. Every internal connection strengthening the next one, every transition refusing to fall into the same pattern twice. Predictability is expensive, surprise keeps the energy alive. That's why every section grows tighter instead of louder, sharper instead of busy, you're stronger instead of simply faster. I don't waste energy competing with echoes, because echoes only repeat what already happened. I'd rather build the next sound before yesterday finishes fading. Every correction becomes another weapon against complacency, every difficult season removes another unnecessary habit, every hard decision clears another path that comfort would have hidden forever. That's the exchange I'm willing to make every single time. Nothing valuable arrives wrapped in convenience, and nothing lasts and survives without maintenance. So I keep rebuilding the foundation even when it already looks solid, because collapse usually starts the moment people assume the structure can take care of itself. I never hand that responsibility away, every choice gets checked, every instant gets sharpened, every standard gets questioned before it gets raised again. By the time everything settles, there won't be much left to explain, because explanation was never the objective. The work will already be standing where the words pointed, one relentless sequence of decisions connected so tightly that breaking the chain no longer feels possible. And that's the only finish worth chasing, not the loudest one, not the quickest one, but the one that keeps carrying its own weight long after the noise has disappeared. Basement, fuse, blow, spark jump wide, chain lock snap, step inside. No talk, no guide, just raw collide. Ceiling crack, drip, rust, dust, footprints smearing the crust. You shout for trust, I move cause I must. Black hood low, jaw tight, neon hum, blade bright. You hype online all night, freeze when it's live inside. Fast breath, flow shake, spine stiff, no break. You fake the quake, I make it ache. Sub roll on the bone, teeth grip monotone. You clone what you been shown, I carve in stone. No loud chant, crew, no fake debut. You preview, I break through. Grip cold on the rail, nails pale. You bail, I prevail. Short step, sharp cut, rip stud, gut shut. You struck, I cut. Tempo rise, no store, wall to wall. You call, I'm more. Hard glare, no blink. Edge of the sink, you think I sink. Still pipe, lean back, jaw crack, you lack. I stack. Quick spin, elbow turn, lungs burn, you learn. Churn. No middle speech tone, no throne, you moan. I own. Sub hit deep in vein, rain stain. You complain, I maintain. Foot scrape, cement, drag, black bag, you brag. I tag. Fast hands, wrist flick, brick click, you sick. I slick, no echo hook, sweet, no retreat, you bleed, I lead. Shadow cut on brick, quick stick, you trick, I stick. Tight jaw, no green skin thin, you spin, I win. Tempo beat, blood rush, crush, hush, you blush, I crush. Every breath you smoke, one stroke, you choke, I go. Hard step through glass, cut, pass, you lost, I blast. No scripted rage, no cage, you stage, I engage. Subcode through chest, no rest, you guess, I press. Knuckle split, skin, chin spin, you thin, I grin. Fast climb, metal stare, cold air, you stare, I tear. No fake applause, no pause, you pause, I cross. Hard slam, I engage, late fate, you wait, escalate. Short, no. Short, not light sound, no doubt, you shout. Sub fade, low growl, foul scowl, you howl, I proud. Not louder, not softer, just faster and harder. No mercy line, no warning sign, just pressure. On time, that's drill. That's drill. Hit the ground running before the clock found its rhythm. Never needed a countdown, because the pressure already knew my name. Every sentence crashed into the next without leaving room for hesitation. Every decision arrived carrying another one behind it. And by the time the room caught the pattern, I was already somewhere further down the page, building another layer they hadn't even noticed yet. People spend too much time polishing appearances while the foundation keeps sinking underneath them. I chose the opposite direction, reinforce the base until the weight stops feeling heavy. Sharpen the process until speed becomes natural. Repeat the routine until consistency starts looking effortless from the outside. Even though every quiet hour behind it demanded more discipline than most people ever see. The rhythm doesn't ask for permission before accelerating. It simply keeps tightening every turn, every internal rhyme pulling another into place. Every line refusing to land where the last one landed, because repetition drains momentum, and momentum is the only currency I never waste. If the path narrows, I reduce hesitation instead of reducing pace. If the pressure rises, I lower distraction instead of lowering standards, because panic only wins when attention forgets where it's supposed to stay. Every obstacle arrived disguised as another delay, another setback, another closed opportunity, but every one of them quietly carried information worth more than comfort ever could. Teaching another angle, exposing another weakness before it became permanent, forcing another adjustment that eventually became another strength. Looking back, none of those difficult moments slowed the journey. They simply changed the route without touching the destination. I never measure progress through applause, because applause fades quicker than effort. I measured it through cleaner execution, steadier judgment, calmer reactions, and sharper instincts, because those things stay when excitement leaves the room. Anybody can sound confident while conditions are perfect. The real difference appears when everything shifts at once and the next move still arrives without confusion. The cadence keeps weaving through itself, every ending opening another beginning, every phrase stretching into the next until the whole verse feels like one continuous motion instead of separate pieces stitched together. That's intentional. Momentum should never feel interrupted, it should feel inevitable, like gears catching one another under pressure until the entire machine refuses to stop. Some people keep waiting for certainty before committing, but certainty never signed a contract with reality. So I learn to move with incomplete information, trust preparation over prediction, and let discipline finish conversations that motivation abandoned halfway through. That's why I don't need perfect conditions. I only need another opportunity to execute what was already built long before the moment arrived. Every correction became another advantage, every difficult choice reduced another unnecessary habit, every uncomfortable season stripped away another excuse, until alone the useful instincts remain. Somewhere along the way resilience stopped being something I practiced and became something I carried without thinking. The same way breathing stops feeling like effort once you've forgotten there was ever another option. The pace keeps climbing, the standard keeps rising, the target keeps moving further ahead. And that's exactly how it should stay, because comfort has never built anything worth remembering. I'd rather keep chasing improvement than spend another minute protecting yesterday's version of myself, because growth doesn't reward attachment, it rewards adaptation. When the final echo disappears, there won't be much left to explain, because explanations never carry the same weight as finished work. And while opinions fade, trends disappear and noise finds another direction, the results remain exactly where they were built. One decision stacked on another, one disciplined step after the next, proving that the strongest momentum never comes from one explosive moment, but from refusing to interrupt the chain, even once. Pulled into the side street while the sky was still deciding whether it wanted to be morning. Bakery lights glowing through steamed up windows. Somebody unloading flour with headphones on. Somebody unlocking the pharmacy next door. Somebody sweeping yesterday off the pavement before today's footsteps had a chance to arrive. The city never wakes up all at once. It stretches, shakes itself loose, then quietly gets back to work. The cafe on the corner already had 3 regulars sitting in the same seats they always chose. One reading racing results, one fixing a broken pair of glasses with tape, one stirring coffee long after the sugar had disappeared. The owner never asked what they wanted, he already knew. Fast-paced, side road, white van, loading bait. Paper cup balance on the dashboard while another postcode blinked across the sat-nav. Yesterday's rock folded inside the dog pocket. Today's list already longer than expected. The jeweler adjusted a bracelet under a bright desk lamp, while across the road a bicycle mechanic straightened the bent wheel. Tiny movement, steady hands, different trade chasing the same feeling. Leave it better than you found it. The bus station filled one platform at a time. A student carrying presentation board. The chef heading home after night shift. The grandmother with 2 shopping bags and a crossword folded into a coat pocket. Nobody noticed each other, everybody noticed when the bus was late. A furniture maker ran his fingers across fresh oak before sealing the surface, refusing to rush the last 5 minutes after spending 3 days getting everything else right. Got the part people never see the finish, always hides the patience. Fast flow, scanner beat, palette wrap, marker fading. Another signature, another gate, another warehouse where somebody's already waiting before the engine stops rolling. A florist trims stems while listening to weather reports. A driving instructor adjusted mirrors before every lesson, even though the last student had already done it. Habits become invisible once they've been repeated enough. A hotel corridor echoed with suitcase wheels, room doors opening and closing, housekeeping cars parked neatly beside the lifts. One family leaving for the airport, another arriving from somewhere with different weather and different stories packed into identical luggage. A print shop stacked invitations across a long counter, birthdays beside business launches, weddings beside retirement dinners, different celebrations, same careful fold. Fast-paced, green signal, slow traffic, quick detour, bridge ahead, roadworks again, nothing dramatic, just another small adjustment before the destination. A market trader knew exactly which crate to open first, because strawberries never wait. Beside him an antique dealer, polished silver spoons, older than anyone walking past the stall. One selling tomorrow's dessert, one selling yesterday's memories. The bowling alley looked completely different before opening machines humming through self-check. Shoes lined in the perfect rows, scoreboards glowing with empty names waiting to be filled. A locksmith finished replacing a lock just as the neighbor came outside carrying homemade soup. One fixed the door, the other fixed the evening. Fast, clipboard, delivery, invoice, mileage, simple words keeping complicated days together. The airport cafe served breakfast to people heading in opposite directions. Honeymoon tickets beside emergency flights, backpacks beside briefcases, sleepy conversations beside excited ones. The departure board never cared why anybody traveled, only when. A tailor measured cups without looking at the tape. Years of repetition turning movement into instinct. Across town the barber recognized footsteps before the customer reached the chair. Some skills can't be explained, only earned. A cinema after the afternoon, showing smell of warm popcorn and fresh detergent. Staff collecting forgotten scarves, water bottles and ticket stubs that had already outlived the purpose. Fast flow, apron folded, lights dimmed till counted, shutters lowered. Another place closing while another unlocked the front door for the evening crowd. The restaurant filled as the bakery emptied. The office lights faded while takeaway signs lit up. The last school bell rang while delivery vans started another round. Different clock, same day. A ferry pulled away from the harbor carrying cyclists, families, office workers and musicians. Nobody crossed the water for the same reason. Everyone watched the shoreline shrimp through the same window. By the time streets settled into another night, receipts had been filed, shelves rest stock, uniforms hung behind doors, ovens cooled, engines stopped, alarms set, and thousands of ordinary jobs that quietly connected together without asking for applause. Leaving tomorrow, ready to begin before anyone realized today was already over. No waiting on the green light. I move before hesitation finishes its sentence. Because time has never rewarded people standing still. Every breath pushes another layer forward. Every line leans into the next until the rhythm feels like one continuous current pulling everything behind it. I don't build momentum through promises, I build it through repetition. Sharpening the same discipline until it stops looking like effort and starts looking like instinct. A lot of people mistake motion for progress, running circles around the same ideas until the distance feels impressive. But circles never become roads, so I cut straight through uncertainty and keep the direction clear even when the conditions change. The weather shifts, the noise grows louder, opinions multiply, but none of them decide where the finish line sits, because they never owned the map in the first place. Every difficult season stripped away another unnecessary habit. Every setback forced another adjustment. Every adjustment revealed another angle that comfort would have hidden forever. Looking back, the hardest chapters carry the clearest lessons, because they demanded precision instead of emotion, patience instead of panic, consistency instead of temporary confidence. That's where the foundation changed from something fragile into something that could carry real weight without bending. The cadence keeps rolling over itself, internal patterns locking together before the last sound disappears. Every phrase extending the pressure instead of releasing it. Every transition opening other pockets so the energy never settles into the same shape twice. Predictability weakens impact, so every turn has to arrive a fraction earlier than expected. Every landing has to feel earned. Every breath has to pull the next one closer without breaking the chain. I stopped chasing approval today. I realized approval changes with the crowd, but standards stay exactly where you leave them. Raise them once and they expect more tomorrow. Ignore them once and they disappear quietly. That's why I protect discipline more carefully than motivation, because motivation waits for the mood, discipline creates one. Nothing valuable arrived quickly. Every improvement demanded another repetition, another correction, another decision nobody else could make for me. Piece by piece the structure became stronger, not because the weight became lighter, but because the frame learned how to carry it without wasting movement. That's the difference people miss when they only look at results and skip the process that built them. The pace keeps climbing because standing still has never solved tomorrow's problems. One clean decision opens another opportunity. One clear objective removes another distraction. One focused hour outweighs a whole day spent waiting for inspiration to appear. Inspiration visits when it wants. Discipline clocks and whether it feels like it or not. Every internal rhyme keeps feeding the next phrase. Every sentence stretching beyond the expected landing. Every section tightening instead of relaxing, because pressure should never feel borrowed, it should feel earned. Nothing recycled, nothing leaning on yesterday, nothing surviving because it worked before. If the standard grows, the work grows with it. When the last word finally lands, there isn't anything left to explain, because explanation was never the goal. The rhythm already proved the intention. The movement already proved the commitment, and the sequence of choices stayed connected from the opening breath to the final line, without letting the momentum slip even once. Because that's how lasting progress sounds, when it refuses to negotiate with doubt.
You don't see the strike. You don't see the strike until the strike already landed.
And the room recalibrate around the damage. Breath threaded through cartilage and grit. Diction clip like serrated metal, shaving layers of static resistance. I don't build hype, I compress weight. I don't inflate noise, I increase mass. Cadence sliding off axis, then snapping back centered. Talking a torso, jaw lock, lungs disciplined. Syllables colliding in clustered succession without decorative cushioning. You chase an impact and volume spikes. I bury impact in density. Stack tension beneath the beat and let it detonate inward. No warning flare, no ceremonial intro. Mid-pace gear shift, breath short, pattern tight. Double coil rhythm inside a single bar. Multi-syllable, interlock, lock in the pocket and twist in the pocket again until it fracture. Attack angle altered, tempo perceived faster though the clock unchanged. You posture for crowd approval, I posture for structural dominance. Different metric, different mission.
Second gear.
Delivery sharp but colder, less volume, more incision. Words stitched in compressed repetition without visible repetition. Pressure not shouting, pressure implied. No safety net lyric, no motivational garnish, no theatrical rage. Just forward force folded inside the next phrase.
How the cadence stretched long, almost conversational, then snap tight again without telegraphing the shift. Tension built, not through screaming, but through refusal to soften. You mistake aggression for shouting, I mistake shouting for weakness.
Third gear, speed condensed, syllables accelerate, internal rhyme density stacking like braided wire. Minor consonant friction, amplifying texture without obvious chant. I don't threaten collapse, I engineer inevitability. Energy stays elevated, but posture remains level. No dramatic hook screaming commands. For repetitive slogans, stamped every
bars, instead momentum layered. Density increased, breath shortened, impact sharpened, final gear.
Cadence presses tied against the beat, spine phrases interlocked in staggered rhythm. No pause built for applause, no clean landing platform
Prepared for comfort, just sustained velocity, tapering slightly but never fading. And without ceremony.
The pressure hit before the daylight ever reached the window. But I was already moving because waiting never changed a single outcome. Every decision linked itself to another until the rhythm stopped feeling like separate thoughts and became one uninterrupted run. I don't slow down to admire progress because progress disappears the second it believes the work is finished. So I keep tightening every detail, refining every instinct, trimming every distraction until the process becomes sharper than the problem standing in front of it. People spend years chasing certainty, only to discover certainty was never part of the agreement. The road keeps shifting, the timing keeps changing, unexpected turns keep rewriting plans. But none of that matters when the direction stays untouched, because direction outlives circumstances every single time. That's why I trust preparation more than prediction, and discipline more than emotion. One keeps showing up regardless of conditions, while the other waits for permission that never arrives. Every difficult stretch carved another layer into the mindset. Every missed opportunity uncovered another route that would have stayed invisible if everything had worked the first time. Every delay quietly removed another unnecessary habit into only useful reactions remain. Looking back, the hardest chapters carried the clearest instructions, not because they were enjoyable, but because they demanded honesty instead of comfort and action instead of excuses. The cadence keeps stretching further without breaking apart. Every internal rhyme pulling another pattern into place. Every phrase refusing to settle where the listener expects it. Momentum feeding momentum until the whole verse feels like one long movement instead of disconnected pieces. Nothing borrowed, nothing recycled, nothing surviving simply because it worked yesterday. Every section rebuilt from the ground up, so the energy keeps climbing instead of circling familiar ground. I never waste effort trying to silence every opinion, because opinions multiply faster than results. I'd rather let consistency answer questions that arguments never could. Every clean decision stacks on to another. Every discipline hour strengthens the next one. Every improvement compounds until the difference becomes impossible to ignore without needing anyone to announce it. Pressure stopped looking like an obstacle once I realized it. Asked the same question every time: are you still willing to move when the reward is invisible? Yet the answer never changed, because commitment doesn't depend on applause. It depends on whether the standard survives another difficult day without lowering itself to match the circumstances. The rhythm keeps accelerating with controlled precision. Every transition tightening the grip instead of releasing it. Every sentence carrying enough weight to launch the next one forward. Never allowing hesitation to settle between the bars, because hesitation grows wherever momentum disappears. I refuse to give it space, so the chain stays connected from beginning to end without dropping intensity. Nothing valuable ever arrived by accident. Every advantage came from another repetition, another correction, another uncomfortable decision made before it felt convenient. That's why I don't measure progress by how loud the room becomes. I measure it by how much stronger the foundation feels after another round of pressure is tested every corner of it. When everything finally falls quiet, the only thing left standing is the work that refused to compromise. One deliberate choice connected to another until the entire structure carried its own weight without leaning on luck, trends, or temporary attention. And that's the only finish worth chasing, because it keeps moving forward long after the noise is already found somewhere else to go.
Basement fuse blow, sparks jump wide, chain lock snap, step inside. No talk, no guide, just raw collide. Ceiling crack, drip, rust, dust, footprints smearing the crust. You shout for trust, I move cause I'm lost. Black hood low, jaw tight, neon hump, blade bright. You hype online all night, freeze when it's live inside. Fast breath, flow shake, spine stiff, no break. You fake the quake, I make it ache. Sub-bro under bone, teeth grit. Monotone, you clone what you been shown. I carve in stone. No loud train crew, no fake debut, you preview. I break through, grip cold on the rail, no spell, you bail, I prevail. Short step, sharp cut, rip stud, gut shut, you strut, I got. Tempo rise, no score, wall to wall, you crawl, I'm more. Hard glare, no blink, edge of the sink, you think I sink. Still pipe, lean back, jaw crack, you lack. Ice stack, quick spin, elbow turn, lungs burn, you learn, I churn. No middle speech tone, no throne, you moan, I own. Sub hit, deep in vain, rain stain, you complain. I maintain, foot scrapes them and drag, black bag, you brag. I tag, fast hands, wrist, flick, brick, blick, you sick. I slick, no echo hook, sweet, no retreat, you bleed, I lead. Shadow, cut on brick, quick stick, you trick, I stick. Tight jaw, no grin, skin thin, you spin, I win. Tempo beat, block, rush, crush, hush. You blush, I crush.
Heavy breath through smoke, one stroke. You choked, I spoke.
Hard step through glass, cut pause. You lost, I blast. No scripted rage, no cage. You stage, I engage. Subcrawl through chest, no rest. You guess, I press. Knuckles split, skin, chin, spin you thin.
I grin, first time metal stare. Cold air, you stare, I tear. No fake applause, no cause. You pause, I cross. Hard slam, I gate, late fit. You wait, I escalate. Short nod, lights out, no doubt. You shout, I route.
Sub fade, low growl, foul scowl. You howl, I prowl. Not louder, not softer, just faster and harder. No mercy line, no warning sign. Just pressure on time, that's drill. That's drill. No countdown, no hesitation. I hit the beat already locked in. Every breath chained to the next one until the rhythm stopped sounding like separate bars and started moving like one continuous current. I don't waste seconds introducing myself because every line has a job to do, and every job gets finished before doubt has a chance to interrupt the process. People keep searching for shortcuts, because shortcuts look attractive from a distance, but the closer you get, the more expensive they become. So I chose repetition over excuses, precision over impulse, patience over empty confidence, building every layer until the structure could survive pressure without asking for support from anybody standing outside it. The pace keeps climbing, because standing still was never part of the design. Every decision creates another opening, every adjustment uncovers another option. Every obstacle forces another solution that never would have existed if the road stayed smooth. That's why I don't complain when conditions change, I simply change faster than the conditions do. Every sentence folds into another one before the last syllable fades. Internal patterns weaving underneath the surface while the cadence keeps shifting, just enough to avoid becoming predictable. Nothing recycled, nothing borrowed, nothing left hanging without purpose. Every word earning its place before the next one arrives to raise the standard again. People mistake comfort for stability until comfort quietly starts taking pieces away one day at a time. So I learned to stay uncomfortable on purpose, to keep sharpening the blade after it already looks sharp enough, to keep rebuilding habits after they already work, because improvement disappears the moment it believes the work is finished. Pressure never asked whether I was ready, it simply arrived, and after enough seasons I stopped treating it like an interruption and started treating it like another part of the routine, another weight to carry, another test that eventually becomes another page in the blueprint. Once that shift happened, hesitation lost its place, panic lost its timing, and every difficult moment became another opportunity disguised as resistance. The rhythm keeps pressing forward without looking back, every pocket opening into another one, every rhyme stretching beyond the expected landing point, every transition refusing to repeat the same shape twice, because momentum should feel alive, unpredictable, constantly devolving instead of circling the same idea until the energy fades away. I don't build for applause because applause belongs to the moment. I build for durability because durability belongs to the years. The following years remember discipline far longer than they remember excitement. Anybody can sound fearless while conditions are perfect, but real composure only reveals itself after the plan breaks apart and the next decision still arrives without confusion. Every correction became another advantage, every delay became another lesson in time, and every closed opportunity exposed another direction that would have stayed invisible if everything had happened exactly as expected. Looking back, the hardest stretches carried the most useful information because they stripped away everything unnecessary until only instinct remained. Now the movement feels natural, not because the road became easier, but because the mind became quieter, the focus became sharper, the reactions became faster, and the standards stopped depending on outside noise. One decision leads into another, one improvement replaces the last one. One chapter hands the way to the next without breaking the chain, and that's the only momentum worth protecting, because it keeps growing long after the spotlight finds something else to chase. The second the beat dropped, I was already halfway through the thought. No hesitation, hiding between the words, because hesitation is always charges interest later. Every breath pushed another sentence forward until the rhythm stopped feeling like music and started feeling like momentum. Every syllable locked into the next one without leaving enough space for doubt to climb in. I never waited for perfect timing, because perfect timing spends too much of his life arriving. Tomorrow I learned to build inside imperfect moments, sharp and rough edges before anybody noticed they were rough. Keep moving while the room debated whether movement was worth it, because distance is earned one decision at a time, and no shortcut has ever outworked consistency. The pressure changed shape so many times it stopped looking like pressure altogether. First it arrived, wearing uncertainty, then impatience, then expectation, then responsibility. But every version carried the same question underneath it. Are you still willing to keep going when the excitement leaves? And every answer sounded exactly the same, because commitment doesn't need to raise its voice to be understood. The flow keeps folding over itself, internal rhyme chasing internal rhyme. Every phrase pulling another behind it, never landing in the same place twice. Every transition tightening instead of relaxing, every pocket opening just long enough to hit hard
harder on the next bar. No wasted movement, no decorative filler. Every word carrying its own weight
instead of leaning on the one before it.
People confuse motion with progress all the time, running faster without checking direction, talking louder without improving substance, repeating yesterday until repetition becomes routine. But routine without intention only builds circles. So I keep checking the foundation while everybody else is repainting the roof, because appearances don't survive pressure, but structure always does.
I don't carry old excuses because they're heavier than any challenge waiting ahead. I leave them exactly where they were made, to move with lighter hands, clearer judgment and sharper reactions, knowing every difficult stretch has something useful hidden inside it if I'm patient enough to find it before frustration gets there first.
Every setback sharpened timing, every wrong turn improved awareness, every closed path forced another solution that would have stayed invisible if everything had gone according to plan.
So I stopped asking why things changed and started asking how to use the change before somebody else figured it out. The cadence keeps climbing without breaking apart, every ending becoming another beginning, every breath stretching into another run, every pattern twisting before predictability catches it. Because once the listener thinks they know the next move, the energy starts disappearing.
And I'm not interested in giving momentum a reason to slow down. Nothing here depends on applause, approval, or permission. Those things arrive late and leave early, but discipline shows up before sunrise and stays after midnight. It doesn't ask how I feel, it asks whether the work is finished. And that's the only conversation worth answering, because results remember effort long after opinions forget names. When everything finally settles and the room goes quiet, the only thing left standing is the chain of decisions that never broke. One choice leading into another, one improvement replacing the last, one step refusing to become the final one. Because the strongest runs aren't remembered for how loudly they started, they're remembered for how relentlessly they refuse to stop.
The room never changed, I changed the way I entered it. Every step carried enough intention to make hesitation feel out of place. Every breath fed another sense before the last one disappeared. And the rhythm kept pulling forward like it already knew where it belonged. I stopped asking whether the moment was right, because moments don't wait for anyone. They pass through the room once, then they're gone. So I learned to move while other people were still measuring the distance. Everybody talks about pressure like it's something to escape, but pressure only exposes whatever was already there. If the foundation is weak, it breaks. If the foundation is solid, it grows stronger. Every time another layer gets added, that's why I spend more time rebuilding habits than protecting pride. Because pride cracks under weight, while discipline keeps carrying it without making a sound. Nothing here happened overnight. Every improvement arrived disguised as another boring repetition, another correction, another decision that looked too small to matter, until hundreds of those decisions quietly connected into something impossible to ignore. That's the part people skip because it doesn't look exciting, but excitement disappears faster than consistency ever will. The flow keeps turning through new angles without settling into familiar shapes. Every phrase feeding another one before the energy can fall away. Every internal connection tightening in the movement instead of slowing it down. Every transition refusing to land where expectation tries to trap it. Predictability is comfortable, but comfort has never pushed anything beyond average. I don't waste time carrying yesterday into tomorrow, because yesterday already served its purpose. It either taught something or it didn't, and once the lesson is taken, the weight gets left behind. Too many people drag old mistakes to new opportunities and wonder why the pace feels slower than before. I travel lighter because I only keep what's useful. Every obstacle forced another adjustment. Every adjustment sharpened another instinct. Every instinct removed another hesitation into reacting. Became quieter than thinking. That's when the real difference started showing, not through louder moments, but through calmer decisions made while everything around them felt louder than ever. The rhythm keeps climbing without reaching for shortcuts. Every sentence adding another layer instead of repeating the last one. Every rhyme strengthening the motion underneath it without needing to announce itself. I never wanted empty speed, I wanted control momentum, because speed disappears the moment control does, while precision keeps moving long after panic burns itself out. People wait for certainty because certainty feels safe, but certainty usually arrives after the opportunity has already moved on. I'd rather trust preparation than prediction, because preparation stays useful no matter how many times the direction changes. Roads close, plans evolve, expectations shift, but the objective stays exactly where it was placed from the beginning. The final result never belongs to one dramatic decision. It belongs to hundreds of quiet ones that refuse to lower the standard when nobody was watching. That's why I keep moving the same way every time, building another layer, making another adjustment, refusing to interrupt the rhythm, because lasting progress doesn't come from one perfect moment. It comes from protecting the chain until every single link is strong enough to carry whatever comes next. Never needed a countdown because the first breath already carried enough weight to move the whole direction forward. Every word landed with purpose. Every sentence pushed the next one harder until the rhythm felt less like a verse and more like a chain refusing to snap. I don't waste energy introducing myself because the work speaks before the voice finishes the opening line. And by the time anybody starts reading the room, I've already changed the temperature inside it. Some people build excuses faster than they build habits, then wonder why the distance never changes. But habits keep collecting interest while excuses keep collecting dust. So I stopped negotiating with comfort the moment I realized comfort always asks for more while giving back less. Every morning starts with another decision. Every decision shapes another hour. Every hour stacks into another season until the gap between intention and reality finally disappears. The rhythm keeps turning underneath the surface without repeating the same footprint twice. Internal echoes locking together before the last sound fades away. Every phrase pulling another one forward so the momentum never falls asleep. I don't believe in standing still long enough for doubt to catch my shoulder, because doubt always arrives dressed like caution, but underneath it there's usually nothing except fear pretending to sound reasonable. Nothing changes by accident. Direction changes because somebody made another difficult choice while everybody else waited for perfect conditions that never showed up. I learned to trust movement before certainty, discipline before emotion, repetition before excitement, because excitement burns bright for a moment while discipline keeps showing up long after the lights disappear. Every obstacle looked permanent until I walked closer. Every closed path revealed another opening hidden just beyond the first turn. Every setback carried information nobody hands out during easy seasons. And after enough repetitions, I stopped asking why things became difficult and started asking what the difficulty was trying to teach before it disappeared again. The pressure keeps rising, but the breathing stays steady, because panic only wastes time that preparation already paid for. I don't rush decisions just because the clock sounds louder. I sharpen them up until speed and precision stop arguing with each other, because moving quickly means nothing if the direction falls apart halfway through the run. The cadence keeps folding into itself, every ending becoming another beginning, every internal rhyme reinforcing the next one without needing the same pattern twice. Every transition tightening instead of relaxing, because momentum should always feel like it's climbing another step instead of circling the same ground. Predictability weakens impact, so every turn has to earn its place before the next one arrives. People spend years protecting an image that disappears in one bad season. Rather spend those years building something pressure can't erase. Recognition fades, trends rotate, conversations move on, but solid work keeps carrying value after the noise has already found another destination. That's why I never measure progress through applause, only through whether today's execution stands stronger than yesterday's. When everything finally grows quiet, the only thing left standing is the sequence that never broke. One deliberate choice leading into another. One improvement, replacing the last without asking permission to continue. One relentless rhythm refusing to lose its grip from the opening breath until the final word. Because that's the only standard worth chasing, and the only finish worth remembering.